I am here today to present my graduate thesis, which aims to deal with the issue of marriage and homosexual adoption, that is part of the recent evolution of the family in our society. I approached this topic a few years ago thanks to people close to me who made me reflect on the sufferings and difficulties that sexual minorities still meet. Another reason is the discussion of the Syrian law in 2016, which allowed civil unions to homosexual couples too. The Italian situation, however, immediately appeared to me backward compared to the rest of the Europe or the Western world. Doing some research on LGBT rights, I realized that nations such as United States and Spain are particularly representative of the progresses of society in this sense. Italy is rich in history and has often influenced the surrounding territories, especially during the Roman domination and with the spread of Christianity. Ancient Rome produced many testimonies of male homosexuality. Relations between men were part and parcel of Greek and Roman culture. These were tolerated if practiced only with men of a lower social rank, such as slaves. In any case, they were not persecuted. Then Italy became the birthplace of Christianity, which repressed every form of sexual act without procreative aims. Homosexuality was also punished with castration and death sentence. Suppression continued throughout the years up to the Enlightenment and the Napoleonic Empire. The Napoleonic Code revoked the crime thanks to the gay minister Cambacérès, who struggled to abolish it. After the unification of Italy, the crime for lechery against nature was re-established, but then abolished again with the Italian Penal Code by Zanardelli, 1889. Homosexuality was no longer a legislative but a moral issue. Rehabilitating homosexuals thus became a competence of the Church, which induced them to a sense of guilt and social exclusion. From that moment, there were no other repressions, not even during fascism, which denied the existence of homosexuals in Italy, and did not persecute them officially. Right at the beginning of the fascist period, there is the birth of the first Italian movement on sexual issue by Aldo Mieli. In the 17th, another movement was born, Fuori. The name refers to the coming out. Its member allied to the radical party of Angelo Pezzana. Today, the most important and politically committed association is the Arcigay, founded in 1980 by important people such as Nichi Vendola. Now, the Italian homosexual community claimed the right to family already obtained in almost the entire Western world. Though the formation of a homosexual family is not possible in Italy, there are already 100,000 children living with same-sex couples. They are often the result of previous unions, and their legal recognition is essential. To extend the right to family to homosexuals, many states have used scientific evidence to support them. The several studies on the subject have been largely produced in the United States. This is the reason why Columbia University has reviewed and analyzed some researches. To carry on this analysis, a team of researchers chose 77 studies published in scientific journals, which considered reliable samples for quality and quantity. Studies take into account more than 30 years of history since 1980. 73 studies out of 77 agree that no substantial differences emerge in the development of children brought up by parents of the opposite sex. The remaining 4 studies take into consideration many separate parents. This makes it clear that it is the disruption of the family that causes trauma, rather than the sexual orientation of the parents. Not all American studies, however, are in favor of the subject. The study by Mark Rogneros was considered important for the number of samples and the method he used, but problematic outcomes have emerged from it. The research has analyzed children of gay parents aged 18 to 39, and as adults, they can give more precise feedback. The results are quite negative. The children of homosexuals had several problems, such as lower school outcomes, higher unemployment rate, depression, and use of drugs. Pinheiro's work, however, was soon questioned because the socioeconomic backgrounds were not coherent and the children were not born and raised up by a stable homosexual couple, but in many cases the parents had separated and then had homosexual relationships. What emerged from both studies is important. The environment in which the child grows up influences his development, his self confidence, and the way he deals with having a different family. Today, a particularly positive environment for these new families is Spain. Spain has a very recent past of depression. The dictatorship only fell in 75 with the death of Francisco Franco. In that period, sexual minorities were considered just like criminals and were tortured, electroshocked, and lobotomized. Those were considered scientific solutions to rehabilitate homosexuals, re-educate them, and reintegrate them into society. Even if people like Antonio Vallejo Najera, an illustrious army doctor, thought that such individuals were impossible to teach to. Luckily, after the dictatorship, there was a significant boost by the LGBT community, which reacted to oppression through organizations such as Front d'Alliberament Gai de Catalunya, de Fluvià. Shortly after, the Lambda Institute, now Casa Lambda, was created, a social center still active for information on sexuality and the normalization of homosexuality. 4 years after the death of the dictator, Spain obtained the repeal of the law which made homosexuality illegal. Today, Spain is a country completely open to sexual minorities. In fact, in 2013, 88% of the population officially declared its support to homoparental families, guaranteeing them complete social integration. The two main Spanish cities, Madrid and Barcelona, are also considered LGBT paradises, which often host large-scale events. Madrid has in fact welcomed the World Pride in 2017 under the slogan "Whoever you love, Madrid loves you." In my opinion, the goal to be reached for a peaceful coexistence is acceptance of a various contexts and different realities, ready to welcome the new type of family. Certainly, the choice to extend the right to family to homosexual will upset our society, but it will also be an unavoidable move. Thereby, it is useless trying to stop this new kind of family. The only thing we can do is to raise awareness in the most conservative part of the population so that we can achieve the complete integration and make the children feel loved and not different.